Everyone remembers D-Day as soldiers charging across the beaches of Normandy. But here's the truth you were never told. The invasion didn't begin on the sand. It began in the shadows. Long before Allied boots hit the beaches, the war had already started in secret. Spies, resistance fighters, and daring pilots worked behind enemy lines. They weren't in history books or military parades, but without them, June 6, 1944 could have been a disaster. We know it as Operation Overlord, the largest amphibious invasion in history, 150,000 troops storming France. But the true story was written not just with tanks and ships, but with secrets, sabotage, and silence. You might remember from my earlier video on the D-Day girls, those fearless women of the Special Operations Executive, who risked their lives to organize French resistance cells. Their courage laid the groundwork for what came next. But their story was only one piece of a far greater puzzle. Because what you're about to hear are the untold secrets of D-Day itself. In the weeks before the landings, the French resistance came alive. Villagers, railway workers, even farmers, all recruited into a shadow army. They were told to wait. And then one night, it happened. On the BBC, a French poem by Paul Verlaine was read aloud. The long sobs of the violins of autumn. To ordinary listeners, it was meaningless. But to resistance fighters, it was the trigger. It meant, begin sabotage, now. And sabotage they did. They blew up railway tracks, cut telephone lines, and ambushed German patrols. Every train delayed, every bridge destroyed, every line of communication severed, meant German reinforcements arrived too late. Hitler's generals expected to move tanks to Normandy within hours. Instead, thanks to sabotage, it took days. Those lost hours? They saved countless Allied lives on the beaches. But the resistance wasn't alone in deception. The Allies launched secret air missions designed to confuse and terrify the Germans. On the night of June 5th, before the landings, planes dropped not just paratroopers, but dummies. They were stuffed with straw, equipped with firecrackers, and recorded gunfire. From the ground, German troops saw parachutes falling, heard explosions, and believed they were under attack by thousands. This operation was codenamed Rupert, while German forces rushed to fight imaginary soldiers, real paratroopers, like the U.S. 101st and 82nd Airborne, slipped behind enemy lines to secure bridges and roads. It was a deadly game of shadows, illusions buying time for reality. And then came perhaps the greatest secret of all, the deception campaign. Hitler believed the invasion would come at Calais, the narrowest point of the English Channel. Why? Because a network of double agents, codenamed the Double Cross System, fed him lies. One of the most important was Juan Pujol Garcia, known as Garbo. He created a fake army, complete with imaginary divisions, false radio traffic, and forged maps, convincing Hitler that Normandy was just a distraction. So when D-Day began, German generals hesitated. Reinforcements were held back at Calais, waiting for an attack that would never come. That hesitation, those precious 48 hours, may have been the difference between Allied victory and total failure. These are the forgotten players of D-Day, the French villagers who derailed trains, the women of the SOE, the D-Day girl who lit the first sparks of rebellion, the pilots who dropped straw paratroopers into the night sky, and the spies who whispered lies into Hitler's ear. While the world remembers Omaha, Juno, and Sword Beach, the truth is, the war for Normandy wasn't just fought on sand and sea. It was fought in whispers, in shadows, and in silence. Without these hidden hands, Operation Overlord may have collapsed before it began. So the next time you hear the story of D-Day, remember, it wasn't just won by soldiers charging forward, but by unseen heroes working in the dark. Their names may be forgotten, but their secrets shaped history. If you want to know more about these silent warriors, go watch my video on the D-Day girls. It's their story, and it ties directly into the hidden war you've just heard about. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more untold stories from history.